This is, whoop. Hi everyone, welcome back to the studio. I'm Russ Edmonds, veteran animator and story artist. And today we're going to be talking about tails, tail wagging, and the dog language of a tail, and compare that to a horse. As always, I'll be sketching out in the field and then bringing it back here to the studio. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please subscribe. We need to understand the world around us, and the best way to do that is just get out in the field and experience it. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's talk about tails. Animals use their tails to communicate. We all know a dog wags his tails when it's happy, right? I mean, you come home from work and open the door and your dog is there wagging his tail, wagging his entire body, you know, and he'd practically knock you over. You know it's a happy, excited dog. But there's more. There's a lot of tail language that we need to explore. There's fast wag. There's a slow wag. There's a left wag and a right wag. There's an aggressive wag. There's lots more. We'll talk about lots of that. And also about horses. Horses have a language all their own with their tail. And we'll go talk about that. So let's take a walk to the field and I'll show you what I can show you. So grab your sketchbook. I'm going to grab mine and let's go. Today we're just going to shoot tails. I mean, probably the hip and the tails. And we're going to be looking for the dog communication and horse communication, because that's really what it's all about. Just remember, like the alpha dog will always hold his tail slightly higher than the beta dogs. So that's something to remember. But I wrote down the different different ideas that I already know from watching our dogs, such as how a dog wags his tail when it's happy. Everybody kind of knows that. But when it's excited, when it's relaxed. Also when it's submissive, you know, kind of fearful. That one's going to be hard for us to get here on the ranch, because I'm not gonna be mean to my dogs to make them fearful. So, but we kind of all know what that is. There's also a curious wag. I'll see if I can find that. It's gonna be a little hard. I might have to have some B-roll to make some of this stuff work so that I can show you. There's also that aggressive arch back. And the really weird one that I really wasn't aware of was the left wag and right wag. So if the dog wags on the right side, that's a very friendly, positive thing. If the dog wags on the left side, that's a very aggressive, negative thing. See if I can capture some of that too. But let's go and see what we can draw and what I can video, and so we'll put all this stuff together. Let's I want to show you a little bit of Lexi's anatomy first. So I'm going to go back up to the porch and Lex and I will talk. Come on, Lexi. Come here with me. I want to show structure here. What we got here is, this is Lexi. She's a sweetie. What we're looking at here is the vertebrae bone that goes all the way from the head, all the way down to the tip of her long tail. And this vertebrae, they broke it into different names. So, you know, this is the cervical vertebrae, and then this is the thoracic part right here, and then this is the lumbar, and then the caudal. They call it the caudal. Caudal vertebrae is here. But they're all just bones that are all running down the whole spine. We have the same thing. When it gets to here, it's the sacrum. Now, what the sacrum is a point where three of the vertebrae are fused together, and they're fused to the hip. They're fused to the pelvis bone. And it's right, come here, Lexi, come here a little bit. It's right there. You can feel it. It's right in there. And what's cool about that is for animation, this is a central pivot point. Everything is solid in this area. And then from this area, all the flexibility comes out from here. So that's one point you can keep track of. Structurally, what you need to know is that, well, in a dog, there's about 18, 20 vertebrae in here, little bones that are in here. And so you got to know that it goes all the way down to the tip of the tail, and it gets smaller and smaller as they go down. And this is her gluteus muscles are up here, and these are the biceps down here. But these gluteus muscles just kind of swing right down into the tail, and they get narrower and narrower. They get smaller, along with a bunch of tendons. And that's what gives them the ability to wag their tail. Here, Lex, I'll show you one more time here. So this is, whoop. So that'll give you a little bit of structure. Let's go take a look at her movement. Happy and calm wags. That's what I see from Lexi. Cody's here too. He's much more excited. We must be going someplace fun, he says. Now here's a nice relaxed wag. Low and slow. The higher the tail, the more the excitement. Lexi has a thick, heavy tail. It'll never be as agile as a small dog like a cockapoo or a shih tzu. Nonetheless, you can tell she's happy and excited with those big, giant arcs. I just want to get some sketching done here, but they just won't leave me alone. Give me attention. Now here's another low, slow wag from Lex. Happy and relaxed. Ooh, Ellie will give me some good wags. Now Cody just did a right side wag. You can barely notice it. Look again. The tail is on the right side only. That's a sign of her friendship with Ellie. When I say Ellie's name, she gets all excited. And then she relaxes again, and then gets excited. Now it's time to play. That tail goes psycho. There's a coyote around the house. Hi, tail. Cody says, I'm the alpha dog around here. And Ellie does not disagree. Say, Cody, you can be the alpha. No problem here. You can see Ellie's tail's much lower. What a wonderful stance. Now let's talk about horses. Well, just the same as a dog, you have this big vertebrae that goes all the way from the head, all the way down through and into the tail. It's the same thing. It's you have your cervical vertebrae. It's all one piece, but they break it into pieces. So, hey. It's all one piece, so they break it into, Lexi, knock it off. You break it into pieces. Your cervical vertebrae, it goes from here to here. And your thoracic vertebrae is over the rib cage. Then your lumbar vertebrae is here. It's all one piece though. And then it goes into your caudal vertebrae. So the vertebrae comes down this way and goes completely to her tail. Now her tail is actually goes, I could feel it, it's here. It goes all the way to here. So that, and it's strong. She's clamping it down because she doesn't want me touching. It, if you could see close up here. Now I could see the end of the tail here. You you can feel its thickness and you can see the shape of the tail. You can see how long the hair drapes off the end and how it covers all sides. Your vertebrae comes all the way down here to where it hits the hips, and the hips are where where the pelvis is, and that is where you have the sacrum. The sacrum are basically 3 to 5 fused bones, and they're fused to the hip. So this is the locking point. Right here is the locking point for all your animation. Nothing here moves. This is solid. From here, everything else comes out and is flexible. Your flexible spine, your flexible legs, your flexible tail. And then from the sacrum, you're basically running there's around about 18 bones in here, and they just kind of fizzle out to about there. That's all a strong tail. So that's how they can whip it around, is because that's all muscle, you know. And the muscles come from up here, which is basically your gluteus. The glutes are up here. Your biceps are down here, but these glutes are. Come on, guys. Hey. So the muscles run down, and they just kind of run down and taper off at the end of the tail, and there's where lots of tendons, and they're all basically in that one big muscle there. And this is how they can move their tail around easily. So there you go. This is Lady, and she's being a good representative for me. Now the other thing is horse language. Now here's a big blooper. I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I'm just chatting away, and Lexi is bothering Lady, and I'm not noticing it. You can see the body language. Lady's ears are back. She's pawing at the ground. This could have been bad. But I left in the situation because this really shows exactly the body language I was talking about. And I might not get this again. Horses also have a language, and they talk to themselves through their tail and their body language. And one of the biggest things about that, she's in a very relaxed state. There's usually, I've got relaxed, and the swishing tail is irritation. You know, they're bothered, they're irritated. Whether it's a fly or another horse, it's irritated. And the other thing is tension. When a horse's tail is clamped between their legs, this is relaxed. Whoa, maybe it can be clamped.
It's clamped right now.
Okay. Hey!
Lexi's getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Clamped.
She's clamped down right now. Well, it's tight. So, anyway,
relaxed.
Clamped is not relaxed.
No.
Clamped is when it's tough down, and you don't want to be around a horse when it's a clamped tail, because that's when they kick or they buck, or they don't want you around the back end. And the other one is when the tail is raised up, they're excited. You know, it's spirited, alert. You know, I think I got some B-roll of H, one of my horses that we let him go, and he was just running around the arena having fun. So let's go do some drawings. Okay. FedEx's tail is up. I think it's because Desi's eaten out of her food dish. Reggie's turning out H after he's been in the stall for a couple of days, and he explodes. He's full of pent-up energy. He needs to blow off some steam. He's not angry. He just needs to stretch his legs and exert his power. You can see the tails are up in the air. They're having fun. Life is good. Understanding this visual language will help make your characters more believable. It'll bring them to life. Let's head back to the studio. Now, we just went through a lot of information, so I think I'm gonna split this video into 2 parts. And the next time we'll go through all the sketchbook. I got lots of stuff in the sketchbook, and we'll do some animation. So, see you soon.